We live? I forgot how to do this. Hey everybody, welcome. It is, it's Friday, right? It's January what, 6th?
Yep.
2023.
Hey!
Happy New Year, everybody. Boy, do we have a good episode scheduled for you today. It's actually episode 122. And man, I kind of forgot how to do this, so hopefully I can get warmed up here. Woo. Hey, happy Festool Friday, and you know it's Festool Live. You got it. Hey, it's noon, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're rolling, men? We're rolling?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, hey, guess who's back? It's Big D. He's back on the board. Okay. Chris, the unit Cybert, is on the camera. And I have a big announcement, everybody.
Oh, here we go.
I got to tell you, ladies out there, he's off the market. Chris, the unit Cybert, and Emily got engaged over New Year's.
Yay.
Congratulations, unit.
Thank you.
Off the market.
Yep.
Okay, over here we have Min Min. There she is. We have Sparky. We have Peyton, who doesn't like my loud voice, I guess. Peyton, you're beautiful. All right, so. Oh, we also have Brent. That's why I write everything up there. We also have Brent Shively online. Thank you, Brent, for answering all the questions online that everybody has. And you know what it is? The unit's blocking my head. Okay, everybody. We're watching YouTube, right?
Yep.
Please, will you do us a favor? Will you subscribe to our channel, Festool USA? We'd appreciate it. And hit that little notification bell there. Hey, Andre, thanks for reaching out to me this morning. Hopefully you're watching. I know how busy you are, and welcome to our community. Okay, what do we got going? Oh, okay, so when I thought about this, how to start the new year, I want to choose one. It's not this. Peyton, are you doing okay? All right, I wanted to choose a tool that I just love demonstrating and using. I actually used it quite a bit over Christmas break in my shop at home. It's the Conturo. And during the break, I had a few questions on it, and I was just like, I thought we did a Festool Live on this. So I went back and looked, and the answer to that is yes and no. And when I say that, I want to dive in a little bit more on some of the top questions we got. It's about inside and outside radiuses. But I also want to go, and Chris and I and Big D, we did a video prior to the pandemic. It was in 2019, and it was how to change glue. All right, and I can also I get some other stuff to cover. I just want to watch my time today. But there's one other episode that will be coming up probably in the next month that I have a lot of questions on. I did a training with some of our sales managers in December, and they had a question on it. So I want to do a full episode on it because it's really cool. It's wrapping circles and cutting it properly with a cutter. Okay, so let's start with inside radiuses. During break, somebody reached out to me via Instagram and said, what's the tightest inside radius? It's 50 millimeter. That's what you see in the catalog, that's the specification, and that's the tolerance. So 50 millimeter inside radius is 1 inch and 15/16, roughly 2 inches. So when they were asking me that, this is what a 2 millimeter inside radius looks, a 50 millimeter, okay? And there's a situation when you do this. Now watch, I'm gonna run this really quick because I love just running the machine. I get it all up and running anyhow. I'm just gonna break the tape real quick. And when I break tape and I do it like this, watch, I just wanna leave a little bit extra to make sure I can get it going. And then I'm gonna show you that really tight radius where it won't work and why. So I'm gonna bring it up, and when you set up the Conturo for banding, you see how it's tight? It's one click away. This is facing away from you. Okay, and yeah, some of this will be a little bit of a refresher for you. And this is what I call the go button. This is gonna be very important. It's your stop-start button. This is the trigger. The trigger, and this is gonna be important in a few minutes, because I'm actually gonna utilize that. That is to go fast or slow. Okay, I go fast all the time except for 2 applications, and I'm gonna do one today with you. Okay, I'm gonna hit it, and you're gonna see how it grabbed. Now, hopefully we can get this. Chris, I'm gonna have you swing over here, okay, so we can get a good shot on this. Now, this is the center, okay? That's my feed roller and burnisher. I'm gonna hit my go button, and I'm gonna let it come out, and then I'm gonna take it. And then I'm going to see how that feed roller gets in there and comes out. And that's the key to the radius inside. And when I say that, okay, it's important to note, I have to get the machine inside the radius. That's why the tightest is 50 millimeter radius, okay? I cut this yesterday so you could see this. And Chris, you're gonna come back over here. I'm gonna kind of rush through this a little. I'm not gonna trim the banding. I wanna push this away a little bit. I think I have too much set up today, but I'm gonna bring it in. Okay, and I want you to see this. If you remember just a second ago, that tape was coming up, and I can't get that because the machine is holding me away from getting that feed roller in there. So this here, I believe, is like a 38, 36 millimeter radius, and I can't get that in there. So that was the question I wanted to make sure I answered today, or actually have a video on it so you can see that, because it is a common question. People have really tight radiuses, and they need to get in there. Okay. Whew. All right. Now, it also getting into a tight radius inside. You got to make sure, and one of the things I always check, I think this is a 3-inch, okay, is to make sure that your tape is flexible. This is 0.5 millimeter pre-finished maple banding, but you got to make sure your banding can flex in there. In other words, sometimes banding sits for a long time and it'll crack on you. Now, I'm going to give you this specification so we have it on video. I've said this 1,000 times, I think. With wood banding, wood, it's 0.5, the tolerance is 0.5 to 1 millimeter thick. Tops 1 millimeter thick. With PVC, plastic banding, it's 0.5 all the way to 3 millimeter. And I'm going to contradict myself in just a few minutes. Okay, so let's talk about radiuses, because somebody asked me, how do I know what radius I have? Come in here, cameraman. Big D, I think you could get probably a good shot on this. This radius, if you need to measure a radius, okay, it's pretty simple. I just get a really good framing square, cap into square, and I look at my tangent, where the tangent starts. Here, you see how it comes off? That's the tangent off the radius, or the arc, whatever you want to call it. Right there, you see? Okay, so I read this, I put this here, and if I have a decent eye, I know this is a 2.5 or 60 millimeter. But what if I want to draw one? I grab my compass like this, you get your point and your pencil, and say I want to draw a 3-inch radius. I'll show you how to lay that out. So if I go here on my point like this, and I bring it in like this, and I tighten it up, okay, I'm going to come over here, Chris, and Big Dean, you might be able to get this too. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take my point, and I always make sure I have a sharp point, and I'm just going to lay this here like this, and lay this like that, okay? I can guarantee from there to there's 3 inches, and from there to there's 3 inches. But I can do it one of 2 ways. Now I can, from that tangent right there, I can bring it in and make a mark, but why? I have this already set up. I'm going to take, whoopsie. Sometimes it's too sharp. I'm going to make it like this. I just swing a quick arc over here, and then I'll just take it like this. And I'm trying to make sure that Big D can get that overhead on there. And I'm just going to stick my point there, and I'm just going to swing it like that. So from here to here, you can see that is now a 3-inch radius. Now, if I need a 3-inch inside radius, okay, it's pretty simple. This is wait a minute, let's do a little math. Minnie.
No.
How you feeling today on your metric?
I don't know.
What's half of 400 millimeter?
Oh, 200.
Okay. Hey Mo. So 75 millimeter is 3-inch, or roughly. So I did this. I split this board, and here's my center point right here. Okay, 200. Thanks, Minnie, for calling that out for me. And look, and I'm gonna show you a little tip afterwards. I'm gonna take it and draw it like that. And so, oh man, maybe we can see that today. Woo, let's see if we can do this. I know that's a 3-inch radius, but if I take that and bring it in, see how that just lines up? Just like that. Okay, so that's your 3-inch radius. So hopefully that made a little bit of sense, and you can always calculate what your radius is so your Conturo can work with that. You just gotta make sure you have a couple of those good squares or carpenter squares. There's other ways for layout. I mean, come on, man. We've all done this, haven't we? We've taken a paint can and put it right here, right? And drawn it. There's other things you can get. Like I've used these over the years. I forget where I got these, but they actually have center marks. And I could take that if I need a 3-inch or whatever, 2-inch. I could take it like this, just bring it in like this and scribe it. So there you go. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. Or do your layout, and hopefully I'm doing the geometry right. That's how I've done it over the years. Okay, outside radius. Boy, has this been a question over the years. What's the tightest radius you can do? Okay, that is all dependent. Because I mean, in demonstrations, we've always done arcs like this. I'm sorry, Peyton, I'm sorry. Okay, and this is like a very slight arc, right? It's very, very comfortable. I can use this 2mm banding on it, but you gotta remember, it's also determined on your edge banding that you purchase. This is 2mm, okay? And if I turned a tight radius, it might turn white here. This isn't as old as I thought it was, because I've taken banding at 2mm and just snapped it if I bent it really crisp like that, okay? But somebody will always ask, how tight is that radius? I think that's a 1-inch radius, okay? And yes, you can turn that, but I wanna show you the technique to do it, okay? This is a lot of fun to do. Now, the banding that I have set up for this is really pliable. I think we got this, Larry got this for me, and I think it was Reha that makes it, and it's called Superflex, okay? And when it hits or goes through the Conturo, it actually heats up a bit, so it makes it more flexible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this up. Oh, you know what? Let me take a quick measurement. I think this is 3mm, I forget. So let me turn it on. Okay, let me zero it out. And let's get that in there, Chris. Ooh, yeah, it's 3. Yep, 3mm. Okay, so that Conturo will do that. Let's just take it like this. And what I always do, it cooled off on me a little. Let's get it back up. There it is. Okay, so let's set it up once again. I'm gonna take it like this. It's tight, 1 click off, and I'm gonna hit the go button. And see how it grabs it? Hopefully that comes through. Now, Chris, hopefully you can come in here and get this. You see, ooh, so that means it's ready to locked and loaded. I'm gonna pull the trigger, not this button, but the trigger. And you're gonna see arrows. Okay, that is slow. 1 arrow slow, and 2 is fast. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna mark my board just for a quick visual so you guys can see. I'm gonna go like this, okay? I'm going to go this direction, and this is where, at this point, I'm gonna start to slow it down so I can turn this. Now, Chris, I'm gonna try to get you in the optimal. I think it's gonna be right over here, because I wanna show you a technique that I've learned over time. This is a really tight turn with 3mm banding. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna hit my go button. Okay, I'm gonna let it feed out a little. Okay, I'm gonna pin it, and when I get to about here, I'm gonna slow down so I can turn that radius. And you see how it comes out a little? I'm just gonna push right here and right here, and then the machine's not getting away with me. It's a perfect corner, and then I'll speed it up to finish. Or I could slow it down if I'm getting paid by the hour. Whoop, 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 and always come off in the same plane. And there you have it. Look at that. That is, look at that. Look at that turn. And that hopefully answers, and we get this on video, of one of the tightest corners you can turn with. In a little bit of practice, you might be able to turn something even, but that is the tolerance, 25 millimeter, or roughly 1 inch. Whew, okay. So we covered inside, outside radius, right? So let's go back 2.5 years, or 2 years and like 3 or 4 months, to a video that we did. And boy, we had a lot of fun doing this because it was a common question. And I'm going to step you through how I always remember this. I have a drill down in my head, okay? Let's look inside the chamber here. We have a couple of pucks, okay, or a puck and a half. All right, I'm going to show you a technique on this. I want to change it from natural to white. And here's your different selections. You have natural, which I have in a chamber now, brown, white, and black. Now, it's not an automatic, it doesn't go from natural, then the next puck it's automatically white. It takes a little time for the glue to work through. So I usually waste about 3 to 4 of the pucks, or the glue pucks. Okay, so it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna grab a couple of whites here. I'm gonna bring them over, and always have a box. I like to use a Festool box that I made this morning. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, now, here's a learning lesson, or here's a lesson to learn from. Don't do what I did originally. I took the garbage can, one of my big gray ones over here, and I put the garbage can there. I said, oh, that'd be cool. I burnt the hole right through it. That glue is wicked hot. So cardboard works. Sometimes I'll throw a little piece of wood in there, but let's get going with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this button here. And you're gonna see on the top, I can't open this to look inside because if I do, it stops the process. But what's happening is that is backing up. And that's how you load glue in there. Okay, is that coming through, Big D? Okay, so what's gonna happen is you're gonna hear a beep. Come on, beep. Hey everybody, I hope your holidays were fun and exciting. All right, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I don't wanna waste this one. And Chris, get in here so we can see this. Now here's something, oh, nope, I don't want it to shut. See this puck right here? That is, I'm gonna eke it out a little. Sometimes you can't do it. So what I'll do is I'll just take the end of this knife and try to take it out if I can. It's already starting to melt on the other one, but I actually, yep, I'm gonna leave it in, okay? I'm gonna take a white one, I'll put it in, and I'm gonna shut it. Okay, and it automatically, if we get in here, you can see the icon, it's automatically coming in, the gas tank is closing, and it's going to collapse on it, and it's gonna be ready to do banding. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the process on how to change it from natural to white. I'm not gonna go through the whole process because it'll take some time, but you'll see, you'll see. The difficult ones are if I have white, and like I go to black, okay? It's gonna be gray for a little while until it fully seats black or fully seats white. Okay, once again, I'm gonna take this little piece off. That's my drip cup, okay? Now, if I can get down here and describe this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower this all the way down. I'm gonna hit this green tab on the side. We'll show you that in a minute, but it opens a larger port down there. And what's gonna happen when I do that, and you'll see, what's gonna happen is it's gonna start to slowly eke out. Okay, I should have had a little more open, but that's okay. All right, we're doing pretty good on time. And what you need to do, Chris, get in here so we can see this. See how I'm pressing this tab in? And I'm seating it all the way down. Okay, now you're going to see this. See how it's starting to come out a little bit more? I need to put pressure on there. So up here, and this is where I made the mistake early on in like 2008-9 when I had this, I just went like that. No, you have to hold the go button or the start-stop button until you hear it. Okay, and I'm gonna press this, and you're gonna listen. There it goes. I've started the operation, and look at it start to just pour out. See that? Yep, and it gets going, but you can see it moves it right through, and that way there, I can get that fully effective. Now, what you want to do is keep loading more, so I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to open it now. Okay, and what's going to happen is I'll be able to put another puck in there, and I'm slowly going to load more white pucks in there until it changes to white. Usually natural to white, you're going to go 3 or 4 pucks. It'll be like a little off-white for a few, but that's good because if you're using, I'm going to let that balance. If you're using melamine, okay, like this, okay, and I'm putting white edge banding, melamine banding to that, I want it white because that'll hide the glue, the white glue will hide it or possibly hide some of the chip out. So this is how I'll do it. I'll just put another white in there. I'll wait, okay, until it pressurizes, and then I'll hit it. And you can hear that, and it's going to start to really pour out again. But you got to make sure that you hear it engage so it starts to pour out. And you got that coming out, and that's as simple as it is. Pretty easy, I'm hoping. Good, okay, I'm going to stop it. We're good? Everybody got that? Okay, so to stop the process, Chris, come on over. All right, just on this side, I always make sure I have pressure here. I hold it here. I release this tab, and now I'm ready to go. Okay, and what I do is I wait a couple of minutes before I put my drip cup back under there, okay, because that was pouring out a lot. And you'll see in here, hopefully you can get in there. You can see it coming out. I know that's wasted, but hey, I mentioned to somebody in Las Vegas once, he goes, how long does it take? I go, roughly 15 minutes to switch colors. He asked me which colors, and I said, there's 4 different colors. And he said, okay. And he goes, that's too much time, and that's a waste of product. I go, why don't you buy 4? And he did. 1 for each color. Wow. Sometimes you should just say that, right? Okay. I'm trying to think anything else. We did glue. We did, oh, here was one that I recently got, and I wanted to mention this. If we, Chris, come on over here. I'm going to put the drip cup back in. And sometimes it's, I haven't shown this too much, but on the digital readout, okay, where it says mode, okay, this is the button. I'm going to hit the mode, okay, and you're going to see it right there, that arrow. When you first get your Conturo, it's going to be right in the middle, okay? If I'm doing stuff like plywood and it's a really good core, I usually go 2 clicks down. If I am using something like a melamine, okay, I'll go a couple clicks up. That puts more glue on the tape or the banding, okay? And it all depends on how porous your substrate is. Like that's a particle board substrate, right? Where this, I would probably put less. I always go 2 clicks up and 2 clicks down, and you still get great adhesion, okay? You don't want to waste glue, but you want to be careful with it, okay? So that's another question we get, how much glue should be applied? Okay, I've covered all my questions. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? All right, okay. Minnie, how's the board looking?
It's looking pretty good.
Woo! Hey, I don't know about you guys, but we all missed you. Okay, Minnie said you ain't kidding. Wow, it has been a few weeks, hasn't it? Okay, let's call everybody out. We have Paul and Cheryl and Sam from Arizona. We have Joe from Waseca. We have Doug from Scienceville. Oronzo from Mississauga, Ontario. Des from Harrogate, England. Mark S. from Springfield Woodcraft. Minnie was going over initials. She goes, you remember what WC stands for? I go, yeah. That's a cool name. Bilbo from Denmark. Is that Bilbo Baggins? It might be Bilbo Baggins. Okay, is it Baggins? See, I know some of this pop culture stuff. Okay, hey, we have Martin from Switzerland. We have, oh my God, it's him. It's Dirk from Dayton. Woo! We have Gary Furness from the UK. Gary, how are you? We have Soren from Denmark. Jason and Yana from Granite Falls, Washington. How are you guys doing? We have Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. We have Phil from South Wales. John from Vermont. We got Willie, Spactrician. We have Michelle from Paris, France. Warren S. from Caldwell, Idaho. Will from Freeville. Michael C. from Winchester, Virginia. We have Wes and Nathan from Rugby, UK. Dana Willis from Yakult, Washington. Tom and Kelly. I don't think you guys have ever missed an episode from Eatonton, Georgia. We have Anthony. We have Anthony from Staten Island, New York. We have Mike from Packridge, Illinois. We have Martin from Denmark. We have GB from KC. That's kind of cool. We have GB from KC. All right. We have Joe K from Bellevue, Nebraska. Minnie, you should have asked me about the states. We have Kurt from Rochester, Michigan. Dan from Whitestone, New York. We have Rob from South Devon, England. We have Matt from Tinley Park, Illinois. We have Robert from Delaware. Hey, I can't forget that one. We have Sparky from Advance. We have Peyton from Advance. We have Monty from Canton, Connecticut. We have the Johnsons, the Warped Woodsman. How are you guys? We have Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. Jason from Puyallup, Washington. Hey, that's kind of natural now, Puyallup. Man, how long was I calling it Puyallup? Forever. We have Dave Elliott from Bellefontaine, Ohio. We have Ronnie Fulton. Oh my God, Ronnie, how are you? How's the family? Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey, I believe. Norman from Los Angeles. John from Thornville, Ohio. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Nicholas from Belgium. Chris and Rick from Newfoundland, Canada. Mark from Krimpen and De Lek, the Netherlands. Whew. It's Joe from Akron, Ohio. How you doing, Joe? Good to see you. Maestro. Hey, it's the Maestro from London, Canada. We have Merlin Phillips from Walla, Washington. I want to live there, Walla, Walla. Dave from Portland, Oregon. Ken from Oak Ridge, Illinois. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Dale from Swadlincote, England. Billy Clay from Victor, Colorado. Ad Van Meer, Holland. We have Robert from Milky Way Galaxy. That's wicked. He's out. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. We have Bob BB from Salt Lake City, Utah. Or is that Bobby? Bobby from Salt Lake City, Utah. That was good, man. Mike from Ranson, Iowa. Dale from Flossmoor, Illinois. Ant. Great name, Ant from Fontana, California. Terry and Jessica from Salt Lake City, Utah. Petri from Jolavri, Finland. You've been there almost every episode with us, Petri. Kevin from Santa Clara. Oh my goodness, it goes on. Leo from Holland. Jeff from Bloomington, Indiana. Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. Adam from Union, Maine. Woo! Michael from De Saint Lin, Quebec, Canada. I believe I said that right. Russ from Chichester, England. Brent from Louisville, Kentucky. Sheldon from Anzac, Alberta. Dale from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Christian from Sopron, Hungary. David from Israel. John from Thornville, Ohio. Cameron from Annapolis, Maryland. Martin from Denmark. We have had a lot of Martins. Huh?
Yes.
Lots of Martins. Hey, Martins. We have Akka from Finland. We have Derek from LA. We have Judah and Selah from Plainfield. Plainfield?
Enrico from Santiago.
We have Derek from LA. We have Alex from Moreland, Kansas. Who do we have, Min Min?
And Enrique
Enrique
from Santiago, Chile.
from Santiago, Chile. We have Rick from sunny Blackpool. We have Devante from Mississauga. We have George from Tallinn, Estonia. Is ES Estonia?
Yes.
Woo! I'm hoping. Paolo Upab or Akko from PH. What's PH? We have Richard from Cobblestone, Devon. We have Dave and Gwen from West Virginia. We have Paolo from PH.
Well, actually, that's the whole name, and then they're from PH. I don't know where PH
Where's
is.
PH? Huh?
Festool, though.
Philippines? Hey, maybe the Philippines. We love you.
And
All right.
Seawell Hardware's here.
Seawall Hardware? They're from Florida. Sewell Hardware's from Florida, right? West Palm Beach, right? I think so. Hey, thank you, everybody.
Philippines for the win.
Huh?
Philippines for the win.
Philippines from the win.
Good job, Derek.
And that's Pawa Upo Awo from the Philippines. That is the first time we've had somebody from the Philippines, I believe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, so next week we have another episode of Festool Live. We're so stoked. I'm so stoked, man. Hey, we were looking over the new tools coming out, and boy, have we got a lot of plan for Festool Live. We're going Festool Live overboard on the road this year. 2023 is going to be such an unbelievable year. We are so stoked. We want to meet you. We read this board every single daggone week. But when we're out on the road, we meet so many people that don't put their name out there. We really appreciate you. We love you. I hope you guys all have had a great holiday season. We're back. We're going to hit it hard. You should see what's going to happen in February. It's mind-boggling, and I am so stoked to be here. So, hey, everybody, have a great weekend. Happy Festool Friday. I'll say it again. We love you. From the whole crew of Festool Live, woo! We're out of here.